Hello, it's Ed again from WizeUp. Hopefully you had a good look at round one and you did okay yesterday. Today we're going on to round two of our quiz. This one's all about credit cards and loans. So see how much of that you've got in your head. So same as yesterday, I'm going to go through the question twice, give you a few seconds after that, and then we're going to move on. So we're going to keep it quite short and sharp. Right, question one. How old do you have to be to apply for a credit card? Is it A, 16, B, 18, C, 21, or D, any age as long as you've got a full-time job? So how old do you have to be to apply for a credit card? Is it A, 16, B, 18, C, 21, or D, any age as long as you have a full-time job? Question two. APR stands for A, average percentage return, B, average percentage rate, C, annual price rate, or D, annual percentage rate. So APR stands for A, average percentage return, B, average percentage rate, C, annual price rate, or D, annual percentage rate. Question 3. If you've got a credit card, you can A, repay whatever you like every month, B, you have to repay only the minimum payment every month, C, you have to repay at least the minimum payment every month, or D, you can't pay everything off at once. So if you have a credit card, you A, can pay what you like every month, B, you have to repay only the minimum payment every month, C, you have to repay at least the minimum payment every month, or D, you can't pay everything off at once. Question 4. On your credit card, you will be charged interest every month. That amount will be based on the amount of stuff you buy, that's A, B, the interest rate that you'll be charged will always be the same. C, you'll be charged interest on the amount of money you owe before your monthly repayment. Or D, you'll be charged interest on the amount of money you owe after your monthly repayment. So when you have your credit card, you'll be charged interest every month. You'll be charged A, on the amount of stuff you buy. B, the interest rate you'll be charged will always be the same. C, you'll be charged interest on the amount of money you owe before your monthly repayment. Or D, you'll be charged interest on the amount of money you owe after your monthly repayment. Question 5. You go on a little shopping spree and you buy some shoes costing 120 quid on a credit card, but when you get them back you find there's a fault with the shoes. Is it A, the manufacturer's responsibility to sort out the problem? B, is it the shop's responsibility to sort out the problem? C, is it the credit cards company responsibility to sort the problem? Or D, is it joint between the credit card company and the shop's responsibility to sort out the problem? So who picks up the tab when you buy some faulty shoes? Is it A, the manufacturer, B, the shop, C, the credit card company, or D, a mixture of the credit card company and the shop? Question 6. Before you go for a loan, the company will have to issue with A, a representative APR on their loans, B, a specific example of what the loan will cost you, or C, a plan to see if you can afford the loan. So you want to go for a loan, say a small personal loan. Does that company have to issue you with A, a representative APR on their loan, B, a specific example of what the loan will cost you, or C, a plan to see if you can afford the loan? Question 7. The APR on a loan will always show what loan is the cheapest. Is that true or false? So you'll be used to seeing an APR rate when you take a loan or when a loan is advertised. The lowest APR is always the cheapest loan. Is that A, true, or B, false? Question 8. You'll often see representative APR written down. So what is representative APR? Is it A, the rate at which everybody can borrow money from that company? B, the rate at which most people can borrow money from that company? C, it's the rate that 51% of people can borrow money from that company? Or is it D, just a guide rate only for advertising purposes? So the representative APR, is it A, the rate which everybody can borrow money from the company? B, the rate at which most people can borrow money from the company? C, the rate at which 51% of people can borrow money from the company? Or D, it's just a guide rate for advertising purposes? Question 9. If you're 17, you can't get any loan. That's answer A. You can get a loan as long as you're working. Answer B. C, you can get an overdraft but not a loan. D, you can get a payday loan but not a mortgage. Or E, you can get a credit card but not a loan. So we've got 5 different answers there. As a 17-year-old, A, you can't get any loan at all. B, you can get a loan as long as you're working. C, you can get an overdraft but not a loan. D, you can get a payday loan but not a mortgage. Or E, you can get a credit card but not a loan. And finally for this round, question 10. If you have a bad credit score, A, you can't get a loan at all. B, you can get a loan but it's going to be expensive. C, you might be able to get a loan but it's expensive. Or D, you might be able to get a loan but you'll pay normal rates. So if you have a bad credit score, A, you can't get a loan at all. B, you can get a loan but it's expensive. C, you might be able to get a loan but it's going to be expensive. Or D, you might be able to get a loan but you will pay normal rates. So I hope you didn't find those too difficult. We're going to go straight on to the answers now. So question 1 was, how old do you have to be to apply for a credit card? The answer is 18 years old. You'll probably be offered a credit card by student loan companies or banks. As soon as you reach 18, very good chance that you'll be offered some sort of credit card by those companies then, along with hopefully a mountain of birthday cards. Question 2. APR stands for annual percentage rate, so D, annual percentage rate. Question 3. With a credit card, you have to pay at least the minimum payment every month. That's the least you can pay. So there's not an option to pay nothing at all, but everything else above the minimum payment is absolutely fine. And I really would encourage you to pay off as much as you can afford every month, because that will mean it's cheaper. Question 4. The reason it's cheaper is that you're charged interest every month on D, the amount of money you owe after your monthly repayment. So the more that you can pay off every month, the less money is going to be outstanding. That means the less interest that's going to be applied to your credit card. Question 5. You buy some shoes costing 120 quid on a credit card, but they're 40. Whose responsibility is it to solve the problem? Well, the answer is actually D. It's the credit card companies and the shops. When you buy something from a shop, you're entering into a contract with the shop, not the manufacturer of the goods. So if you've got 40 goods Even if you're paying with cash, it's the shop's responsibility to sort it out. If you buy with a credit card though, you get an extra layer of protection, because providing the goods cost £100, you get some protection insurance on those goods, and if there's a bit of a problem, then it's the shops and the credit cards company to sort that problem out for you. So if you're buying something like a holiday, it's a really good idea to put that on a credit card. Even if you pay the whole lot up front in your first month, it means you've got an extra layer of comfort. If anything goes wrong with the travel companies, the credit card companies will be there to repay you your money. So it's a really good idea to bear that one in mind. Question 6. Loan companies have to issue with just a representative APR on their loans. They do not have to make sure that you can afford it. That's your responsibility. So don't just go in and think, right, okay, well, if the bank or the company tells me that I can have this loan, it means that I can definitely afford it. It doesn't. It's only your responsibility to work that one out. Question 7. APR shows which loan will be cheapest. So for an example, there's two loans, one at 3% APR, one at 7% APR. Obviously the 3% is cheapest, isn't it? Well, no, it isn't actually. We can't tell which is the cheapest, because what we have to take into account is the time value as well, because you might have a 3% loan for 10 years, which is going to cost you quite a lot of interest, or you can have a 7% loan for 1 year and you'll pay much less interest back. So the time value of money is just as important as the APR. So don't just assume that the APR is the be all and end all when it comes to checking out what the cheapest loan is. Question 8. Representative APR is just an APR, an annual percentage rate that's worked out, where the company must give that price to 51% of the people that apply for it. So just because you see a representative APR of, let's say, 6.4%, don't assume that's the rate that you're going to get. It might not be. You might do better, but there's a very good chance that you'll do worse. Question 9. As a 17-year-old, you cannot get any loan legally. You're not allowed to sign a consumer credit agreement until your 18th birthday, and only then will you be able to take out any sort of loan at all. That includes an overdraft. And finally for this round, question 10. If you have a bad credit score, and hopefully that's not one thing that you've got, but we will check those out as well in future sessions, how to get a decent credit score and keep it, then B, you will be able to get a loan, but it's going to be darned expensive. So it's a fallacy to think that a bad credit score means you're never ever going to be able to borrow money. It's true that some companies might not be prepared to issue with money, so there's an argument to say that C is just as good an answer, and if you put C down, give yourself a mark on that as well, because I think C is just as good an answer as B. But if you shop around, you will be able to get a loan, but you're going to have to pay an awful lot more than somebody that's got a good credit score. So when you get that good credit score, do everything you can to make sure you keep it. How did you do? Well, let us know. Tweet it. Don't forget to mention us at WizeUpMe. Don't forget it's a Z, not an S. And we'll check out how everyone's got on. Add that to your score from yesterday on round 1, and then at the end of the week we'll see how everybody did, and it's a total of 40. So we've got 4 rounds. So we've got round 3 tomorrow. We look forward to seeing you then. Bye for now.